So you've gone through a breakup and you thought that that was the end. But now your ex keeps contacting you out of the blue and you have no idea what they want. Well, you're in the right place because that's what we're going to explore in today's video. Now, I'll be covering a few different scenarios here. Number one, you're simply curious as to why your ex is reaching out and you want to understand why. Two, maybe you just want your ex to leave you alone. Three, you want to leverage this conversation into a second chance with your ex. So keep watching to the end because I'm going to cover all three of these situations in extreme detail. Now, I, of course, am Brad Browning, aka Breakup Brad, and I've made breakups my field of expertise here on YouTube, and I've written the best-selling program on the subject, The X Factor. As a breakup coach, I've helped thousands of people from around the world move on after a breakup, and I've also helped thousands more win a second chance with their ex. So whatever your situation, if you've recently gone through a breakup and you're struggling, well, of course, I recommend that you subscribe to my channel here on YouTube right now. Now, let's dive into the topic of this video. What does it mean when your ex contacts you? Well, there really are many reasons that exes may reach out to you after a breakup. Now, the first, and one of the more common reasons is that your ex is contacting you, is that they feel guilty for how the relationship ended. Now, this is especially common if they made a huge mistake that led to the breakup, like cheating, lying, or just, otherwise mistreating you. Now, you'll know this is the case because your ex will keep things casual and light. They want to be in a place where the two of you have a good relationship so that they convince themselves that they did nothing wrong. Another sign of this guilt is if they lay it on thick with the apologies or they're being excessively nice to you. Do they give you gifts and do favors for you? This is the behavior of a guilty person. So whether they're looking for your forgiveness or for their own, that's unclear, but the results really are the same. An ex who's looking to impress you with their behavior. Now, if you're in this situation and you want to use this goodwill to try for a second chance, then you need to head to breakupbrad.com after this video is over and check out my full free tutorial video there that deals with situations just like this one. Again, you can watch that for free at breakupbrad.com. Now let's move to number two on this list. They want to be friends. Now this one isn't always as easy to spot, but there are a couple things to look for. When you broke up, did they say something like, I think we'd just be better as friends? Now, often people use this as a cover and then never speak to you again. But if they're still contacting you all the time, this might be their true intention. Do they treat you way differently than they did before the breakup? Well, this is a sign that they now see you as a friend rather than a romantic option. Now, this is super common for relationships that started as friendships and never quite felt right. Now, if you do want them back, I'd caution you highly against being friends with your ex, and I'll explain why later on in this video. If you don't want them back, I'd actually still caution you against being friends with your ex immediately after the breakup. Now, I know that some people will push back on this, but I really do speak from experience here. Being friends with an ex right after a breakup is a recipe for disaster. This doesn't mean you can't be friendly or even become close friends after a longer period of time apart, but the time immediately following a breakup should be spent processing and healing, and you really can't do that if you're trying to build a friendship with the person who just broke your heart. Now, I wish I was wrong about this one, but after helping thousands of clients over the past decade or so, being friends with an ex almost always does more harm than good. Now, the third reason that your ex keeps contacting you is that they miss your presence in their life, but they're not sure what they want. This is a super common situation, and it can be confusing for everybody involved. Now, if this is the case, expect your ex to be hot and cold. They may keep you at a distance one minute and then running back to you the next. They'll typically avoid any serious conversations about the breakup and change the subject when you talk about the future. Chances are, this means that your ex is really struggling with the breakup and is coming to you for comfort and support. Now, the fact that you're the cause of and the solution to all their problems right now is what's making them act kind of crazy. Now, this brings us to the fourth possible reason that your ex keeps contacting you, and that is that they want you back. Now, there are certain things to look for that mean your ex wants you back. Do they speak to you, more like a boyfriend or a girlfriend than an ex? Do they want to spend lots of time in person? And when you do they show up looking their best? Have they asked you if they're seeing anyone? If you're seeing anyone, I should say. These are all indicators that your ex is more than likely interested in getting you back. But of course, if you want to know for sure if your ex wants you back, just head to breakupbrad.com/quiz right now and take my free quiz. I've distilled over a decade of research into a simple 5-minute questionnaire. Just answer the questions and you'll receive a rating telling you your chances with your ex, along with personalized advice based on your answers. Again, you can take that quiz for free at breakupbrad.com/quiz. So let's say you do take my quiz and you score, really high, something like 90, and now you know for sure that your ex does indeed want you back. What should you do next? Well, we'll cover that actually later in this video. But first, let's talk about just a few other reasons that your ex may be reaching out to you. Now, these are probably not the primary reason that they're reaching out, but they can help you understand what your ex is feeling right now and what motivates them. Now, it's possible that they're reaching out to you because they love the chase. Now, this is a pattern more commonly seen in men, but it definitely does happen with women as well. Now, it goes something like this. They were especially intense early on in the relationship. They really wanted your attention, but they were really focused on you like a laser. But then, as you started to settle down, you found their attention start to wander, and pretty soon they were pulling away from you. And eventually, this culminated, of course, in a breakup. Now that you're starting to move on, they're reaching back out and trying to suck you back into the cycle all over again. Now, the reason for this behavior is because that they struggle with intimacy. They couldn't deal with true intimacy, but they still want you in their life on their terms. Another possibility, your ex may be contacting you because they want attention. Now, this is common in breakups that weren't particularly messy. Basically, they're contacting you because they're lonely and they know that you're probably going to answer their messages. And this is why they're all over you one minute and completely gone the next. They probably weren't truly interested in rekindling anything. They were just temporarily lonely, and they knew that you'd be someone who'd be able to fill that void. And finally, they could be contacting you because they don't respect your boundaries. Now, this isn't so much a reason for them to contact you, as it is more of a reason that they won't think twice before actually reaching out. Now, someone who understands and respects your boundaries will understand that after a breakup, there's really no reason for them to reach out to you, and doing so is probably only going to lead to more pain for both of you. Now, this is common in more emotionally immature exes and people who lack impulse control. They may realize that this is a bad idea, but they're just unable to stop themselves from reaching out. So what should you do if you don't want anything to do with your ex? Well, the simple first step is to stop responding to their messages, stop answering their calls, and just stop engaging with them generally. I know this might feel like a hard step and it might feel, cruel or spiteful, but it really isn't. In reality, breaking up with somebody means severing ties and moving on with your life. And of course, there are situations where you can maintain a relationship with your ex, but if you're watching this video, I'm guessing that communicating with your ex is probably doing more harm than good. So if you came here looking for permission to move on, you got it. It's not going to be easy, but leaving them on red is actually the right thing to do in a lot of situations, and often even the most ethical thing you can do. Now, the situation obviously becomes more complex when your ex doesn't get the message and won't stop reaching out to you. They're probably asking, what's wrong and why you won't talk to them. And in this case, it's okay to send them a message, letting them know that you're just trying to move on and that you don't think the two of you should be in contact anymore. At the end of the day, you should feel proud that you're the one who was able to take that kind of difficult step and move on for good. But of course, let's talk about the other scenario here as well. What do you do if your ex keeps contacting you and you do want them back? Well, the reasons they're reaching out to you don't necessarily change, but the results can be totally different if you have a goal and a plan. So first off, you need to decide which group you're in. Is your ex reaching out to you because they feel guilty? Do they want to be friends? Or do they truly want you back? Honestly, if you fall into that last category, you probably don't really need my advice. Just take it slow and begin the process of reconnecting with them. Let them make the first moves and simply enjoy getting to know them all over again. If you're not sure of their intentions, you're going to have to tread a little more carefully. So the way I see it, there's a couple of different scenarios here. One, you broke up recently and you and your ex have stayed in contact. While you've stopped reaching out to them, they continue to hit you up on a regular basis. Now, the conversations are probably pretty basic, and they lack the romance that you once had. Things are generally fizzing out, or you're sliding into friend zone territory. Now, this is actually one of the worst situations you can be in if you do want your ex back. Once you become friends with your ex, it can be really difficult to bring that romance back into the relationship. Because, once the two of you are friends, any time you spend together just kind of reinforces this new friendship. And while you may be pining for them inside, if you don't take tangible steps in the right direction, you're only going to head deeper and deeper into the friend zone. Now you're stuck in a situation where you're pursuing them and they have no idea. Now this is why I preach the no contact method. Now no contact, of course, means taking 30 days apart after the breakup where you don't contact them at all. You don't text, talk on the phone, email, nothing. And this time apart allows you to both process the breakup. It allows those bad feelings associated with the breakup to fade into the background, and since you've gone cold turkey, it prevents any kind of conflict that might make things worse. And it also prevents the very situation you're in right now by stopping a friendship from developing between you and your ex. So if you and your ex are starting to become friends, or even just casually chatting, you're going to need to send them a message explaining that you won't be able to stay in contact with them for a while because you clearly want different things, so you're going to move on. Now, don't get dragged into a whole discussion about this. Simply make your intentions clear and then break contact. Now, I know that some of you watching are going to push back on this a bit. You might think, how can I get my ex back if I just stop talking to them entirely? But you need to realize that by staying in contact right now, by being their friend, you're actually making it harder, not easier, for you to actually get them back. By breaking contact, you're showing that you have self-respect. In essence, you're rejecting the same way that you're rejecting them the same way that they rejected you. And this is just the first step to returning some equality and the balance of power in the relationship. Now, of course, you need to spend the next 30 days focusing on improving yourself, setting goals and achieving them, and just generally living your best life. This is a very effective way of both processing the breakup, staying busy so you keep your mind off your ex, and setting yourself up for success once you finally actually begin the process of re-attracting your ex. Now, what this looks like is going to depend on your particular situation, but remember that you have time on your side. So, maybe there's a hobby you've meant to try out for years. Well, now is the time to make it happen. Whatever you do, don't make the mistake of just sitting on your butt, waiting and pining after your ex, because even if you never contact them, they'll be able to smell the desperation on you. In fact, acting like you're moving on is the best and most effective method for getting an ex back, because really we always want what we can't have. So if your ex already decided to end things, then showing them that you're still here if they change their mind is only going to make you look like you lack self-respect, and really no one in the world finds that attractive. For more information about making the most of no contact, just watch some of the videos that I've linked in the description below. And that just about does it for today, guys. Hopefully this video sheds some light on why exactly your ex keeps contacting you and what you should do next. But before we go, let me just quickly summarize here. There's 4 common reasons that your ex may be contacting you. Number 1, they feel guilty and they're trying to make themselves feel better. Number 2, they genuinely just want to be friends. Number 3, they miss you and they're looking for comfort. Or number 4, they actually do want to get back together. And whether you want your ex back or you want to move on, the best thing you can do right now is to begin a 30-day period of no contact and head over to breakupbrad.com and watch my free video tutorial there. Thanks again for watching this one, and I'll see you guys in my next video.